Solutions to Sec 1 Common Test 3 2017. In the first sum, we must make y the subject of the formula. As there is a single fraction on each side, the first thing we do is to cross multiply. Multiplying diagonally, we have 2 bracket y minus x, and on the other side, x times y is xy. Open up the brackets. And since we want to make y the subject of the formula, we need to put all the y terms together to give us 2y minus xy equals to 2x. Since y is the subject, there can only be one y. Therefore, we need to factorize out so that we get only a single y. Now we remove 2 minus x to get y equals 2x over 2 minus x. In the second sum, we have an algebraic fractional equation. To solve this equation, we need to put the left-hand side into a single fraction. This is done by creating a common denominator. The common denominator will be 12. Therefore, we need to multiply the first fraction by 4 over 4. And the second fraction by 3 over 3. Now that the denominator is 12, we can put it under a single denominator 12. The numerator is now 4 times 4x, 16x, and minus 3 times x plus 1. We open up the brackets, noting the change in sign. We have negative 3 times x to give negative 3x, negative 3 times 1 to give negative 3. We remove the denominator by multiplying by 12 on both sides. At the same time, we may want to simplify the numerator. 16x minus 3x is 13x. So we have 13x minus 3 over 12. Now we get rid of this denominator by multiplying by 12 to get 13x minus 3 multiplied by 12 here will give us 6. We want to find x, so we remove negative 3 by adding 3. Adding 3 will remove it, and adding 3 here will give us 9. Dividing by 13 will give us x. Dividing by 13 will give us 9 over 13. In the third sum, we can see a diagram, and we need to find the value of x. We start off by looking at the unknown x, and we notice that it is part of a triangle. Therefore, what we need is this angle here, which we call A, so that once we can find A, we can use angle sum of triangle to find x. Looking closely at the diagram, we notice that A is actually the corresponding angles of 48. Therefore, A equals to 48 corresponding angles, and we need to specify the parallel lines AB parallel to DF. Now that we have found A, we use the angle sum of triangle, which is x plus A plus 50 equals to 180. Angle sum of triangle DFC. Since we know A is 48 and eventually we have x equals to 82. The question wants us to find the value of x. Therefore, we should not have any degrees in the answer. In part B, we are given an interior angle and we need to find the sides of the polygon. It is always easier to make use of the exterior angle. Since the exterior angle is equal to 180 minus the interior angle, which gives us 15 degrees. Because this is angle, so we must put degrees. Therefore, now we can find the number of sides by taking the total exterior angle dividing by one exterior angle. That will give us 24 sides. In the fourth sum, we have two sets of numbers that have the same mean. The first set consists of 4 numbers. The mean of these 4 numbers is found by adding all the numbers and dividing by 4. This gives us 5.75. The second set of numbers consists of 6 numbers, one of which is unknown. So we add all the numbers, 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 10 plus x, dividing by 6, which gives us here we have 16, 19, 29 plus x divided by 6. Since the means are the same, therefore we can take 29 plus x divided by 6 equals to 5.75. Multiplying both sides by 6 will give us 29 plus x equals to 5.75 multiplied by 6, which gives us 34.5. So subtracting 29 will give us 5.5. So the unknown number is 5.5. In the second part, we need to find the median of the combined set. We begin by arranging the numbers. there should be 10 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 plus 4, 10 numbers. Okay, there are 3 6 here. So there are 10 numbers. So since there are 10 numbers, then the middle numbers will be between the 5th and the 6th numbers, which is here. The median is therefore 5.5 plus 6 divided by 2, which gives us 5.75. In the next sum, we have a table showing the salaries of some workers. There are 20 workers with a salary of 800, 10 workers, 1,200, and so on. We need to find the mean salary. To find the mean salary, we need to find the total salaries for each category, and we find it by multiplying the frequency times the salary. 20 times 800 will give us 16,000. There are 10 workers with 1,200, so the total is 12000. And 5 workers with 1,005, 2 workers with 2,000 will give us 4,000, and finally the last category will give us 15,000, divided by the total number of workers, which is found by adding up all the frequencies, which gives us 40. Averaging it, we will have 1,362 and 50 cents. For money, we must put to 2 decimal places, and we need to write the unit dollar. For the median, since there are 40 workers, the median is between the 21st and the 20th worker. The 20th worker is an 800, and the 21st worker is 1,200. Dividing by 2 will give us $1,000. Use your results to determine the best estimate. The best estimate in this case is the median. And the reason is that since there are 3 extreme values, these values will cause the mean to increase, and therefore the mean will not be accurate. Moreover, we also have half the scores are actually in the range of 800s, so the mean will be too high to represent the data. We now look at some construction. Using only your compass and ruler to draw the perpendicular bisector of AB. To bisect AB, we need to make use of A and B to draw the construction lines. Using B, we extend to more than halfway of the line and mark an arc on top and below the line. Next, we transfer the sharp point to A and mark another arc crossing the first arc. Now we join the two axes to get our bisector. This is the line bisector of AB. And this is part 1, so we write A part 1. Next, for A part B, we need to bisect the angle DCB. To bisect the angle DCB, the angle is at C, the middle letter. So we begin by using C as the center. We draw an arc. We cannot extend beyond the shorter line, so we take about 3/4 way and draw an arc. The arc will cut the arms at 2 points, and we use these 2 points to mark an X. Now we join the X to the tip of the angle to get our angle bisector. In the second part, we need to draw a straight line joining P and B. P is the point where the two bisectors intersect, which is here. We need to indicate it by marking an X. Then we join P to B as instructed, and we need to measure the angle CPB, this angle here. Okay. So this is B part 1, and the last part requires us to measure the angle CPB. We put our measurements outside the figure. Angle CPB is 89 degrees. Do not rub away the construction lines. These are your working. In the last sum, we need to draw a graph of y equals to 3x minus 2. The first part of the sum requires us to calculate the value of p. Since the question asks us to calculate the value of p, we need to show how we calculate p, and p is substituted into the equation. X is -2, so the x here in the equation is replaced by -2, and y is replaced by p, giving us p equals to 3 bracket -2 minus 2. This gives us -8. So p is -8, and we need to show the calculation. The instruction tells us to draw the x-axis with a scale of 2 cm. A big square is 2 cm, representing 1 unit. And the y-axis is 1 cm, which is a medium-sized square, to represent 1 unit. The axis must be properly labeled with the y label and the arrowhead on the top and the arrow on the right representing the x-axis. Don't forget to label the origin 0 as well. And you need to make the marking. The numbers are below the line and the numbers on the y-axis are on the left. Now we can plot the points. There are 3 points here. The first point is -2, -8. -2, the x value, and -8 on the y-axis. And this is the point that we need. -2 and -8. The second point is 0, 2. So 0 and y value is -2. So this is the point. We mark it with an X. And the final point is 2, 4. X is 2, y is 4. So this is the point that we want. We join all the points to get our straight line. And we label it with the equation. Y equals to 3x minus 2. Marks are given for labeling. Next, we need to find the value of y given that x is 1.6. So we locate x is 1.6 on the x-axis and draw a dotted line. The dotted line is your working. So we draw a dotted line. To obtain the value of y. X is 1.6. We trace a dotted line to the line that we plot and trace all the way to the y-axis. That gives us 2.8. We cannot calculate the value because the question wants us to read from the graph. So we must show the dotted lines to show that we have read from the graph. Similarly, when y is -5, we look for y is -5 and trace towards the line again in a dotted line, and then trace towards the x-axis to get the value x equals to -1. In the last part, we are to find the coordinates of the point where the line cuts the x-axis, which is this point. We mark it with an X and we put down the coordinates in brackets. 0.7, x value is 0.7, y value is 0. This concludes the paper. Thank you very much.